to be talking Euros next. Well, yesterday morning it was very exciting if you're an England fan when it comes to the world of football because they defeated the Netherlands 2-1. Ollie Watkins scoring in the 90th minute. An amazing strike, the Aston Villa star, and it put England into the final. And they'll take on Spain Monday morning our time. Now, a friend of SEN's, he's done a fair bit with us over the journey, but particularly in the last 12 months since Ange Postecoglou took over at Tottenham because he does host the Spurs Chat podcast. And his name is Chris Cowlin. He joins us. G'day, Chris.
Thank you very much. Pleasure being here, and thanks for having me on again.
What's it like being English ahead of the weekend?
It's stressful. I tell you what, we've got that one trophy, and I wasn't even born when we won it in 1966, of course, the World Cup. Everyone is hoping that it is coming home to England. Of course, it's going to be a very, very tough game. But England have got better and better every single time that they've played in this tournament. Spain have been on fire with a couple of great players that they've got, and it's going to be a very, very interesting game. But the whole country is behind England, and everyone wants England to bring that trophy home.
So before we go to the specifics as to how it is that England's got through to the final, just give us a bit of an insight into the atmosphere around England, around the pubs, around the villages, even around the cities. Just how big is this? I know it was only 4 years ago you were at the Euro finals last time, but this seems a bit different this time.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, of course, we got to the final. It was very disappointing to lose on penalties. I think the expectation from the country, all the fans in the country, that England were going to get to the final. The group stages were pretty tough, and some of the football was pretty boring. So a lot of people were getting quite frustrated. But as I said, the football has got better and better as the tournament has gone on. And, we're now in the final with a huge opportunity to lift that trophy. But I was very lucky enough to go out to Germany for a week or so, and I'm hoping to make the final on Sunday. The atmosphere over in Germany was absolutely fantastic. Every single fan is getting behind the country and behind all of these players, which there's a lot of young players in there playing tournament football for the very first time, and there's a good mix of good experienced players in there as well. So there's a really good mix for Gareth Southgate. But as I said, everyone wants and dreams of that trophy coming home to England because we've never ever won the Euros. Of course, we've won the World Cup once in our history, and for a country like us and the footballers that we have here and have had over decades, the quality of the footballers that we've had, we should have won more. And I just think that from what we've been through in these last few tournaments, Southgate has taken us to a semi-final in 2018. We finished runners-up in 2020 and, quarterfinals a couple of years ago, and now we're in another final. So Southgate has done a good job. I think it's going to probably be his last game as England boss, no matter what happens. So hopefully it does end on a high.
So, Chris, what has happened through the tournament? Has England played better or has England played differently?
Well, it was the group stages. I think everyone expected England to go through as group winners, but I think that a lot of people wanted them to play super entertaining football. It wasn't super entertaining football. I was out in Germany for the Slovenia game, which ended 0-0. It's probably the most boring game of the tournament so far, let alone the most boring of England, what we played. But Serbia, we beat them 1-0. Denmark was 1-1. Slovenia 0-0. But we won the group. It wasn't pretty, but we won the group. We went through as group winners, so that was what everyone asked for. The Slovakia game, I think, was a little frustrating at times, but we eventually won that 1-2-1. We went through to the quarterfinals, played Switzerland. That finished 1-1. We won that 1-5-3 on penalties. And every single player that stepped up to take a penalty, and historically, England haven't done well in tournaments when it comes to penalty shootouts. But I think that if any time now, certainly in the final, if it went to penalties, I think that every single England fan, Gareth Southgate and all of the players, I think that we'd all be very confident that we will, win the match. The Netherlands game last night, Ollie Watkins, it's about players taking their opportunities. He came on for the last 10 minutes and, what an opportunity he had and what a goal he scored. And, everyone is on a real high right now. And, as I keep saying, and as I keep saying throughout the whole of this interview, I just hope that we lift that trophy because it has been far, far too long.
So I think what the Ollie Watkins goal showed, it was almost emblematic of England and the depth that they do have, that they've got players that can come on at any time and have an impact. And there's a lot of frustrated England players that aren't getting a game. And as Ollie Watkins said after the match, I'm frustrated I haven't played more because I know I'm playing well. I've had a great Premier League season. I just need an opportunity. So it's quite interesting to see the players, because Ivan Toney's done the same thing, talk openly about being frustrated they're not getting more of a chance. But that just shows the depth they've got.
Absolutely, and I think it's a good thing. Players frustrated that they're not playing. Everyone is itching to get on that pitch and show the whole world what they can do. Ollie Watkins, took the opportunity greatly last night. Ivan Toney has been great as well. But when you look at the whole of the squad, there is so much depth, there is so much quality. Mainu, Manchester United star, he's come in, such a young player as well, his first ever tournament. And, when you look at the bench, you've got people like Cole Palmer, who has been on fire for Chelsea this season. You've got Crystal Palace star Eze, Gallagher, you've got Gordon. You've got really, really good options up front as well. Bowen, Watkins, Toney, all coming from the bench. So Gareth Southgate has got a fantastic squad, and I think it would be a real shame not to take this opportunity and put that trophy in the cabinet this year.
We're talking to Chris Cowlin, who is a good friend of us on SEN, host of Spurs Chat podcast, and has been following very closely the Euros. So as we look ahead to Sunday night, our time, just your thoughts on Spain, and is this I know you keep saying you just hope that England wins, but Spain is very good. But can England beat them?
It's a very good question. Anything happens in football, and I was very lucky enough, as I said, to go out to Germany for a week, and I actually saw a couple of the Spain games, and I thought this is the team that is going to go all the way to the final. I said a couple of weeks ago that I think that Spain and England will reach the final, and they have. But Spain have won every single game that they've played so far, 6 out of 6. They've looked so convincing. They're excellent going forward. So powerful in midfield. They've got a great defence, a good goalkeeper as well. So they had quality throughout the whole of their team, throughout the whole of their squad. And they have been the most entertaining team. So they are definitely the team to beat. They've been the team to watch throughout the whole of the tournament. 16-year-old Yamal has been on fire. He has been absolutely brilliant. Of course, you've got Nico Williams as well. Attacking power in Morata, Olmo, who we saw the other day score a great goal, Morata and Ferran Torres. They've got quality throughout the whole of their team. So it's going to be a very, very tough game, but England have to give absolutely everything. And what I would say is that Gareth Southgate is an extremely experienced manager, having managed England in all of these tournaments now. I just think that he might have the edge. I just hope that he has the edge. And as we've already spoken about with the amount of quality that England have, it's going to be a fantastic game for the neutral. I'm going to be very, very nervous from now until Sunday when the game kicks off. But I'm just, crossing everything and praying that we get that win.
I can hear that you're nervous now. Don't worry about what you're going to be like on Sunday, Chris. So I need a score prediction, and who's going to score the winner for England? Because I'm assuming you're going to say England's going to win.
Do you know what? I'm going to sit on the fence here. I'm going to say that the game will end 1-1, and I think it's going to go all the way and finish with penalties. And I think England will win on penalties. I'm just hoping and praying that England just get over that line, no matter how we do it. But I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I think both teams are going to have to go for it. They're both going to want to go for it. I think England will have the edge on Sunday. I'm hoping so anyway.
All right. Now, Chris, I can't leave you without one Tottenham question. You said before that Eze's a Crystal Palace star. Will he be a Tottenham star?
Oh, I hope so. Fantastic talent, fantastic player. I've been a fan of his for many years since he was at QPR. Spurs were actually linked with him for a couple of times, and we had the opportunity to sign him then. I had hoped that Spurs would pay the money. At that time, they didn't, but he's now a Crystal Palace star, and I'd love to see him in a Spurs shirt. So I expect Spurs to do a lot of business, both incomings and outgoings, as soon as the Euros is over, and I hope to see Eze in a Tottenham shirt.
Yes, I do too. Chris, thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Good luck on Sunday. I hope it all goes well for you and for millions of England football fans.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Chris joining us there. You can hear how nervous he is. You can hear how emotional he is. I just fear for him on Sunday night. I truly do.